Good day, everybody. Today, we are going to talk about pricing. And I'm going to keep beating this one home because it almost comes up 100% of the time in my coachings. So let's get into it. As always, my name is Peter Boland and I've helped close over $50 million in commercial cleaning contracts. And I'm just telling you what's working for us. Okay, so let's chat about pricing. One of the things I hear constantly on my coachings is I cannot win deals because everybody I present my price to tells me my price is too high. And then they invariably say, there's no way I can compete with these other companies when all they do is lowball contracts to get business. And my price is my price, and that's what they need to pay. And the second I hear that, a variation of that, I immediately know they have an issue with pricing, period. Okay? You need to understand in business, if every single person is saying the exact same thing, it's probably because that's the problem. And ignoring it and hoping it goes away is not going to work. It will never work. Okay? You need to address it. Two ways to address it. One is to find out if your pricing is actually too high, or B, learn to sell to people that want to pay that price for your level of service and just prospect towards them. B's a lot harder. When I look at janitorial services, I look at it like internet service providers. What clients really want is to pay the monthly service for it and forget, and to never have to talk with you unless there's a problem. And when there's a problem, they're pissed off about it. Okay? That's how internet service provider works. You don't care about it. Okay? You just only care when it's not working right. It just needs to seamlessly operate in the background and get done without you having to think about it. Because if you really think about janitorial work, what it boils down to is they are hiring you so they don't need to think about it, so they can do more of what makes their company successful. That is why somebody brings in a janitorial business, because it is not their main job and they don't want to deal with it. But when people start trying to sell janitorial like it's this high-end luxury service that they're going to have, and they want to bill people $40, $50 an hour when the industry is 25-ish an hour, why would clients want to pay extra for essentially the exact same service? Now, I know you're saying, well, but mine's different. We pay people better, so they're going to do better work and there's never going to be issues. There's always going to be issues. And maybe there will be less because you have better people. It's possible. But there will always be issues. And when you're selling this extremely luxury, high-end service to them, you're going to get very picky clients that want it. So when you get very picky clients that want it, any tiny, minute thing that's off is going to result in a complaint. So you're still going to get issues. You're just attracting a different type of client. And if you want that client, that's fine. But the problem is you rule out majority of the people who want janitorial services. So if you look at internet service providers and you have one that's $80 and it gets you every single thing that you need, and then you have one that's $55, that still gets you every single thing that you need, which one do you go with? You're going to go with the one that probably has better reviews, for one, knowing that they can actually deliver on what they're promising, and then two, the one with the better price. If each of them have the same type of reviews you're going to go with the one with the better price. Anybody would, and that's okay. If you're trying to sell janitorial services like this high-end luxury one-time thing that they have to pay, let's say landscaping your backyard, people are willing to pay a little bit more of a premium to get the right company and get exactly what they want. But when it's this monthly service that you're getting, that you just want to operate seamlessly in the background, and you're getting multiple quotes and you're coming in at $3,500 and everybody else is around $2,500 to $3,000, you and your price is the problem. You're selling to people this high-end luxury service, but they don't want it. What they want is usually what they ask for in a walkthrough. But I find most people don't even ask the client what they want. They will sit back and ask things like days a week, right? What is their biggest problems with their janitorial service? They will look at things like, oh, do you want a high-end luxury so everything gets done? Or you want bottom of the barrel? Like these stupid questions like that don't matter. Obviously the days per week and stuff matter. And then they do a walkthrough and they build them out a quote based on what they think the building needs in order to look great. And usually what I see people do is they build out a quote that is like luxury services. This is what it's gonna take to make it look amazing, instead of just asking the client what they want. And I will tell you, 50 to 60% of the time, the client's like, man, I just want you to come in, change the garbages, vacuum the floor, do the bathrooms, and clean the kitchen. And that's like a really low-end base cleaning. And maybe their baseboards are dirty. And you're like, hey, I see that there's some baseboard stuff here. Would you like us to add that into it? And like, if you ask these things, they might be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Let's get it cleaned up. But it's not what they really cared about. So the more you start asking them and the more they start seeing the deficiencies in their building, they start being like, yeah, sure, you can add that to it. But you end up pricing them completely and utterly out of what they wanted to pay. If you look at purchasing a car, everybody's gone in and done it. What you do is when you purchase a new car is like, you have the base price of what it would cost a month, $550. But the more you add on, oh, I want the leather seats, I want this, and I want that. There are these wants, but they're not needs. And the price gets so high and it's out of your range. And then you don't want to look stupid and be like, oh shit, I can't afford that. So you're like, you know what? Let me think about it. I'll come back later. And if you have a bad sales guy, he doesn't press you on it to try to get you back here, right? So there's these wants and then there's these needs. And most of the clients, when it comes to janitorial, just need their needs met. And then later on, if there's an issue with baseboards or they're like, oh my God, this is really starting to get dirty, and they complain about something that's not in the checklist, you ask them if they want to add it or if you want to do it as a one-time service for them, and then you bill extra. Especially when you're competing with 3, 4 quotes, right? The good janitorial service providers know this type of stuff. And yes, you will sometimes get people that will give all the services they ask for at the lowest price possible. But my question to that is not their low balls and cheap. I never think that. I always think, what did they do or what did they see to be able to get their price down to that amount and still get the job done? Because there's something I'm missing if somebody else was able to do it. And yes, once in a blue moon, you get these shitty companies that can do it. But when these companies are these big, huge companies that are, 10, 20, $30 million, and they're able to do it at that price, why aren't you? So this video is really about not blaming them, the low-cost providers, and the client for the reason why you can't get contracts. Because the only thing you can do then is find people who want to pay high-end luxury prices for the same thing that everybody else is offering. That is a lot harder to do. it makes your pool of people very, very small. And that means you have to spend a lot more on marketing to find those people. And most of the people who are newer don't have the money to spend on marketing. My question would be, how are they doing it? And for you to start evaluating what you need to change. Like there's some people I know that are paying their cleaners $25, $30 an hour. And I'm just like, wow, like that's a lot. For an industry standard, that's usually like, 18, again, depending on where you go. So you're paying people a lot more and then you're not getting contracts. And the next thing is, well, it's because I can't find anybody unless I pay that price. So that's why I can't do it. I have to keep it there. Those are two separate issues. You not being able to find people and cleaners at a better rate means you don't know how to find them. It's a different issue than pricing too high, right? Your price should be relatively at industry standards. And your price can be higher if you're offering something different. Like if you're adding in a strip and wax, if you're adding in these extra things that they get, then your price would be higher. But if you're adding those things in and the client doesn't care about them, you have now priced yourself out of contracts. This is like one of the biggest things that I see new companies absolutely fail at. I do like 3 free coaching calls a week. And then I also do probably like 1 paid coaching a week, like in-depth, deep one. And like when they start with me on paid coaching, this is always something we have to tackle. And then when I do the free 30-minute coachings, this is the thing that always comes up. Like every time they blame the client and then they blame other companies for why they can't be successful. Instead of being like, well, they're able to do it. If they're able to do it, that means I can do it. Whenever somebody tells me I can't do something, but I see other people are able to do it, what that person is really saying is they don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to be able to. They're taking their thoughts on what they can do and then telling me this is how I should live my life. But if I see somebody else do it, I know it's possible. The question becomes, am I willing to do what they had to do in order to get that result? That really just becomes the question. So after I figure out how they do it, I need to determine if I'm willing to do those exact same things. Okay, so that's all I have to say today. If you guys want to do a free paid coaching, please click the link below. I hope this helps you guys out, and I'm gonna be doing like a little series on this over a little bit with pricing, what happens if you price too low, all that type of stuff. Again, thank you guys so much and have a great day.